Okay, we got to talk about this total goddamn disaster in British Columbia, Ontario, and probably Calgary. It's probably turning into a disaster in Calgary right now, slowly but surely. The disaster of out-of-control rents, like rental property costs going absolutely berserk, all right? It's so damn serious. Now, you might say, wait a second, aren't you Ron Mortgage Guy? You're not Ron Rental Guy, Ron Tenant Guy. Why the hell are you spouting off about this? You're just a mortgage broker. What the hell do you know? Well, guess what? We talk to people in these situations every single day. Tenants who are thinking, my God, I'm so screwed. I got to maybe look to get a house. Oh, buy a house. Well, guess what? You can't qualify. Rate's too high. Prices are sky high. Everything's a problem. So we talk to tenants constantly. So here's the news. It's bad out there. Like really, really bad. The worst example, I said best, really meant worst example we saw just the other day. It was on national news. A family of 5, couple with 3 small children, all under the age of 12. They were willing to offer $100,000 in prepaid rent. Bit illegal, but still, they wanted to have the incentive there. And there's no takers. They got turned down 5 times before they got a wealthy relative to co-sign and guarantee everything on the lease. Like, I am so serious. This is just nuts. These people lived in the same house for 10 years in a suburb of Ontario, like a small town Ontario. Well, sort of a suburb of Toronto, but it's a small place. It's far away. It's an hour's drive from downtown Toronto. Lived in the same place for 10 years. Landlord said, oh, guess what? We're moving back. Probably not. The landlord is probably not moving back in. Is just going to get the tenants out, wait a few months, and re-rent the place for like $1,200, $1,300 more a month, because you can't do that with rent controls in place. But hear me out. It's nuts. These poor people went to look for a house and it was hopeless. They would go in on the first day the house became available. They'd make an offer that night, first available. They would even bid up the rent. If somebody was looking for $4,400, they'd offer $4,600. And guess what? No takers. No takers, okay? So why do you say why? First of all, it's less than 1% vacancy rate in the whole of southwestern Ontario. It's just that batshit crazy on the rent side. So they didn't have many options. And guess what? Landlords can decide to do whatever they want with their new properties. If they look at the 3 kids and say, I don't know about these 3 kids, they may, kids do some damage to insides of houses. We'll wait till there's just 2 or 1 or 2 an old couple who's executives and, they're old and they won't do anything and no kids and no pets and no nothing. We'll just wait for them because we won't have to wait long. We just might have to wait 2 or 3 days. So that's the craziness we're up against. People being discriminated against for no reason. Kids who need a place to sleep at night and hopefully stay in the same school district, because we know that's crazy town. You have to switch schools. So that's how bad it is. $100,000 offered for prepayment. Couldn't get a shot until they went even farther, went even beyond that. So how bad is it? How fucked up is this rent situation? Really couldn't be worse. In the GTA, southwestern Ontario, Fraser Valley, certainly Vancouver proper, oh my God, the price of a condo in Vancouver proper, holy sweet Jesus, it's absolutely nuts. So here's a shout out to everybody who's doing this. In the province, hey, get the landlord and tenant boards working better. Do something. I mean, make it smoother so landlords aren't so perfectly worried about something. And this is a message to the province, the cities, the federal government. Sweet Jesus, housing starts falling for the last 2 years. Housing completions falling for the last 2 years. Million new immigrants. This last year, going to be 1 million again this year. We love our immigrants, but sweet Jesus, something's got to give. This doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense to have no place for the immigrant people to go, for the new Canadians to go. There's no new housing, no preparation, no nothing. And now everybody with a landlord is running scared. Am I going to get turfed? Am I going to get turned out? And the rent's going to go through the roof. This is a bad, bad situation. Government's got to take action immediately.